Hey there, so this is, I'm going to cover challenge 2 of Leonardo's tree, and that's growing our trunk into branches. So far we have this, which is not too exciting. It's just a tree draw object that moves upwards and leaves tree builders behind. And it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and never stops, which is not really what we want. As described in the challenge is we've got to do a couple of things here. We got to decide when we're going to break, our trunk is going to break into branches. And then once our trunk actually breaks, we then need to take this and add 2 new tree draw objects and have those keep moving and then have it do it over and over and over again. So let's go to what we have now. And let's look at our tree draw object. So we've got this, and we've dropped off tree builders here. Now what we need to do is we need to count for how long we've been dropping off tree builders. And I will apologize right now because there may be some slight differences between this video and the next one if you are to follow it. But hopefully you're going to have your wits about you and the ability to modify as needed, and so you can understand what variables are for what. The variable names might be the only difference and the slight difference in order of code. Let me get back to this. So private int counter, and this is going to, I believe I've called it before, branch length. Okay, and we're going to set it to 0. We'll mess around with how long we want this branch to be, but I'm going to create for now, what's the word? Constant. Sorry, couldn't think of it. A constant that's going to keep track of basically how long the branch is going to be. We'll make it the same every time for now, and we'll change that later. So private static final int final length, and we'll set that to, like, we'll try for 40, see how that goes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this move. We're going to drop a tree builder object, and then what we're going to do is we're going to increase branch length plus plus. Okay, so we'll do that. And once the branch length, I should have this as an if statement, if branch length ends up getting to the final length, we want to add in, we're going to take off this tree builder and we're going to add in a couple new ones. Okay, so, or sorry, tree draw object, and we're going to add in a couple new ones. So we'll say remove this tree draw object. Okay, we have to make sure we do that. So get world dot remove object this. Okay, and as you can see, if we're doing that already, and if you've used Greenfoot for a while, we're going to end up with an actor not in world error if we do this first, because we're about to do other stuff, and we're going to need to get the X and Y axes of this, and so we can't do that if we remove this. So let's not put that here. Let's put that at the end. Let's instead add 2 new tree draw objects. So we're going to say add object new tree draw, and we'll add this at the same X and Y value. Okay, oh, of course we have to get world. Okay, we're going to do this twice. And then remove this tree draw object. So let's compile. And let's see what happens. Nothing different happens, and I'll tell you why. That's because it looks like it's moving a little slower just because the computer's laggy, but it's actually stacking tree builders on top of each other, and there's actually 2 tree draw objects now, somewhere around here adding in. Just to show you the difference, just briefly, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say get x plus 20 and get x minus 20, and this will just show you what I'm talking about. So this is going to run upwards, and then, yeah, it's going to double in size and keep going and keep going and keep going, so on and so forth. Okay, so you can see that we are adding new tree draw objects, which was dropping off tree builders, but they're all going straight up, and that doesn't make for such a great tree. So what we want to do is we want to make it so that these tree draw objects are now going in different directions. But we've hard-coded our tree draw objects to go specifically in this direction. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I'm hoping that you guys had figured out that in order to tell a new object specific pieces of how it should go, it should be able to take in a parameter. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a direction parameter. This is going to give us the ability to give our tree draw objects a new direction depending on which branch is being created. So we're going to we typed int direction. Of course, this is going to throw a bunch of errors, okay, in sky and in tree draw, okay, and it's going to, yeah, throw these ones down here in tree draw. So let's slowly modify this. Before we modify these pieces, I want to modify this. We have to actually make this object go based on the direction that it's been given. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to change this to direction. Okay. We're also going to, I'm going to head up here. I'm also going to hang on to this direction because it's going to come in handy. We're going to hang on to it by saying dir equals direction. And we'll hang on to it for later. So here we are. It's got this direction. Now it should actually go based on this direction that we've given it. Let's modify our objects here as well. So tree draw is now going to take a new direction. What we're going to do is we're going to make, oh, sorry about that. We're going to make one of these branches lean to the left, and we're going to make one of these lean to the right. All right, and so we're going to go into tree draw, and we're going to say, based on the current direction now, I want to go -15. Okay, so that's going to be 15 degrees from the current direction that it's going. This one, we're going to say direction now plus 15. We're going to compile that. And we still have this error here. We have to give it an initial direction, this tree draw an initial direction, which is 270 because that's the trunk of our tree and it's going to go straight up. So we'll compile that and let's see. All right, now we've got tree draws going in new directions. All right, this is looking a little wild here, but this is basically the idea. You can kind of see from these little lumps and the bumps here that we are getting separate pieces. But now it's going to be an issue of dealing with the tree branches getting smaller. We'll deal with that in the next challenge. All right, so I think we've covered everything. We've added 2 new tree draw objects to the world, both going at a new angle, and we removed the tree draw object that was originally drawing things after we've done this. All right, good luck with the next challenge. Please try it out first before going anywhere else, and then watch the video if necessary.